Hey guys, welcome to the fourth section where we're going to be checking out how you can tune a kick drum. So I've probably said that too many times by now that it's really important to tune your kicks to your song's key or tonic. Well, how the heck do you actually do that? If you use something like Sonic Academy Kick, don't even worry about it. I've already showed you how to do it. It's really easy. It's basically just part of the sound design process in the plugin. But what about if you're using samples? For instance, I like this Vandalism sample. Right? I thought I wouldn't be vain enough to do this with my own kick sound, so we'll use Vandalism. All right, so I did a free video on ADSR's YouTube channel, 4 ways to tune a kick drum, and it's really short. It's like 10 minutes long, if that, maybe 12 or 13, but I just gloss over the 4 different ways to tune a kick drum. I'm not going to do that in this course because I'm trying to give you guys a really concise and quick workflow. I'm going to talk about the 2 of my favorite ways to tune a kick sound when you're using a sample. So let's say you really like the sample. Now you just need it to fit, the key of your song. So let's drag this into our little progression that we've been working with here. And see, this is what I'm talking about with these kick lengths right here. See how I need to put the kick right there, and it's clicking, or it's cutting off the end of that. I'd prefer my kicks because now I'm kind of double thinking. I'm overthinking, oh, where's this kick go? Because it's aligned with it's not aligned with the grid. So that's what I was talking about before. But anyway, it's a minor issue, but I do think it's not hard to cut those kicks for people who make the kick samples. But here we go. Let me mute Sonic Academy Kick. That sounded weird. All right, so there it is. So let's figure out how we can tune this sample. So the first thing we have to do is we have to know what the pitch of this sample is. And to do that, there's a few different plugins. Let me talk about the ones you guys may have. If some of you guys have FabFilter Pro Q, it'll tell you the pitch in here. This is a paid plugin, of course. It'll tell you you can put a set. You can turn on the analyzer and have it actually show you what the pitch is, and it'll show you right in the grid. So you can do it with some EQs. You can do it with a free plugin called Voxingo Span, and this is what I used in that free tutorial I told you about on the ADSR network. So if you arrow over here, it'll tell you. Do you see where it says C2 up here? Now it's down there, but now it'll be up there again. So it says A2, G2, so it'll tell you what your kick is. Or you can use, I like using, if any of you purchase Vengeance plugins, you can use the Scope plugin. I really like that one. It's right here. So it's a free plugin if you own Vengeance plugins. So it looks like this. Same thing, has a grid, tells you what note's playing. So when you use an analyzer, the section of what you're going to be analyzing that you want to focus on is the highest part typically, right? So I'm not going to care about this stuff down here. It's going to be this right here. And crazily enough, let's see, that'd be so random if this is in tune with our key. All right, so this is completely random. This has literally never happened to me, but this is in A sharp, and this is what my key is in. So what I'm doing is, if I play this kick, if I freeze it, and then go up to its highest point, you can see it says A sharp 2, or it might be an A2. So it's in between an A sharp and an A. So I mean, that's pretty close. I was hoping that this sample would be, like a C or something different, but basically we'll just keep rolling with this. So if you get really lucky, 1 in a million, it'll be in tune with your progression if you're dropping in a sample. So that might be more of an A, but it's such a minute difference that, anyway, we'll just keep rolling. So what you can do is, if this was a huge difference in pitch, my favorite way to pitch this would be If you're a Logic user or you know of a good pitch shifting plugin, you can use a pitch shifter. Just make sure you know how to work that pitch shifter. For instance, right now, if I just turn this up to, let's say this is an A, and we turn it up one semitone to be a sharp, and I turn the mix all the way up, it kind of made the sound weird for a little bit. So you have to know what your pitch shifter is doing. So I'm going to choose the drums. I'm going to go down and choose preset. We're going to choose pitch tracking and use it in this way, and it'll actually work really well. So if I want to pitch this up high. So there is generally a quick way to do some edits. Now my personal favorite way to do this is to load it into a sampler. Now the reason why I like doing this is because a pitch shifter is working in a different way than some samplers do. So like Contact, the EXS24, Battery, even Machine, the way they pitch things is a little bit differently than something that's actually affecting like the pitch, like a pitch corrector. So a pitch corrector is going to try to snap things to certain pitches using comprehensive algorithms, whereas the samplers will tend to stretch the audio, like the sample rate, to speed things up and down. And in my opinion, or at least to my ear, it gets a little bit more of a consistent result. I wouldn't say better, but just consistent. So for instance, if I go new software instrument track, I can do this in a litany of things. We could do it in Battery if we want. We can do it in Contact. Let's do it in Contact. So yeah, Contact, pretty popular sampler if any of you guys have heard of it. Ableton has their own sampler that actually lets you pitch things really easily too. So just loading it into a sampler is pretty nice. I'll go File, New Instrument. Click on this little, what tool is that? A wrench. I'm a musician. I don't need to know tools. All right, so we'll go to the mapping editor, and then I can just drag in that sample here. So we can just pop it into Contact, and we thought that this was I thought it was an A, so right now it's on an A, and then if I just move this value up, to hear the pitch